One of our top stories this morning, the search for a missing Lake County man, Kyle Butterhoff, came to a tragic end yesterday after a search that began 2 days ago. Lake County Sheriff Don Bell said the search was centered in the former Kerr Dam area on the Flathead Reservation.
Kyle Butterford was found today approximately 2 p.m. We called for assistance from Two Bear Air, and they were able to spot him on a cliff face below the lookout. You walk down, and it's an observation area by Kerr Dam, and he went out of bounds.
Bell provided more details about the recovery of Butterhoff's body.
Two Bear Air crew recovered him and brought him over to where we were at the parking area at Kerr Dam, and we did the initial coroner work there, and then he'll be sent down to the crime lab. When we got there, the dad happened to pull up at the same time. Dad was notified and Mom was notified, and it's a very sad ending for the family, but at least we know where he is, and so they can have some closure.
The investigation into Butterhoff's death is underway. Montana's governor declared a state of emergency on 3 Montana Indian reservations due to extreme cold, heavy snow, and blizzard conditions this winter. Residents of the Blackfeet Reservation just east of Glacier Park have been struggling all month with loose snow and strong winds causing huge drifts that have closed roads and schools and made it difficult to get food and other supplies into the area. The Browning area has seen numerous snowstorms this month. Robert DeRosier is the emergency manager for the Blackfeet tribe. He said yesterday the tribe has had a command post open for 10 days to organize food deliveries and answer other calls for help. Hart Butte School has been closed for 12 of the past 14 days. Tomorrow, administrators at Missoula's Big Sky High School will present an open forum on school safety following the past weeks of incidents involving students and threats to security there. In fact, though, officials say all 3 public high schools have had similar problems. MCPS Director of Communications Hatton Littman said Big Sky is not the only high school to be affected by such incidents.
Unfortunately, we are in a state in our society where high school students and adolescents in general unfortunately can make regrettable comments. They can act out in instances of impulsivity. And we do see similar graffiti or verbal threats or things like that at each of our schools.
Littman said there are measures in place to help keep students safe on a day-to-day basis.
Last week was a certain moment of special attention for Big Sky, but we do see similar types of issues happening at each of our high schools. And that's why we have such strong threat assessment and violence prevention procedures in place to keep those school communities safe.
The safety meeting will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. in the Big Sky High School auditorium. A central figure in the armed occupation of a national wildlife refuge in Oregon has been sentenced to 3 years and a month in prison, the longest term for anyone convicted in the case. At the federal courthouse in Portland yesterday, Ryan Payne of Anaconda apologized to those disrupted by his actions and the American people. Payne helped seize the bird sanctuary on January 2, 2016 in a protest against federal control of western lands and the imprisonment of 2 ranchers convicted of setting fires. He pleaded guilty to conspiracy in July of 2016, but his sentencing was delayed until the outcome of his trial on charges stemming from a standoff with federal agents at a Nevada ranch owned by Cliven Bundy. The judge in the Nevada case dismissed charges against Payne last month, citing federal prosecutors' misconduct with evidence. People in Stevensville noticed an odd message on the sign outside the Steve I Cafe yesterday morning. An electronic sign was flashing the phrase, "Officer Jessup has a DUI," in bright red letters. A video of the sign was even posted on the Steve I Cafe's Facebook page. But when KGVO News called the cafe and asked for a manager, a man named Rod said he didn't know anything about the situation.
It was on the sign, but I have no idea if it's true or not, and I'm not even sure how I got put on there. It's shut off now. I don't know anything about it.
The sign was shut off before noon. Stevensville Police Chief James Marble doesn't believe the sign was an accident, but also says it is factually true.
We were informed that the sign was up. It is true that Officer Jessup does have a DUI on her record. It was dealt with appropriately by the city, and it did occur while she was in employ. It did not occur while she was on duty, however. It was investigated by the Montana Highway Patrol through the Attorney General's office. So that all took place. She dealt with it just like any other citizen would.
The sign provoked much controversy. Some posters on Facebook said they were so upset they'd never eat at the Steve I Cafe again. A man claiming to be Gregory Lanau, the son of the owner of the Steve I Cafe, called KGVO News and said he intentionally programmed the sign, quote, behind my mom's back, end quote. He said the sign was, quote, a shot over the bow, end quote, of the police department, which he accuses of hypocrisy for allowing Officer Jessup to give him his third DUI when she also had a DUI. The federal government is providing up to $7.5 million to help reclaim abandoned coal mines in Montana. The Abandoned Mine Lands grant money comes from fees paid on coal produced in the state. They're awarded through the Interior Department's Office of Surface Mining Reclamation and Enforcement. Abandoned Mine Lands money goes to 28 coal-producing states and tribes, according to a congressionally mandated formula based on their coal production. A Missoula man's being held on robbery charges after an altercation at a ranch supply store on West Broadway that occurred Monday. Missoula Police spokesman Travis Welsh explains.
The complainant there had indicated that they had observed a young man conceal items in a bag he was carrying and leave the store without making any attempt to purchase. I confronted him in the parking lot. The report indicates that the male suspect reached for and grabbed what was described as a spiked club that he was carrying in a bag that he had over his shoulder.
According to a police report, the spiked club appears to have been crafted from spikes inserted into an axe handle. The employee said he was threatened with the club as more employees came out to assist.
Other employees came out and assisted the original by surrounding Mr. Rennie. They convinced him to put his weapon back in the bag, which he did just as the officer was arriving. Nobody was injured with the weapon. Suspect is identified as 19-year-old Joshua Rennie.
Rennie's accused of taking some small tools and what appeared to be a small propane tank, the combined value far under the $1,500 minimum for a felony theft. Rennie does face a felony robbery charge and an assault with a weapons charge because the club was involved. Our News Talk time now is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Lingering light snow will be possible today. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies with their high temperatures in the upper 30s. Tonight, overnight lows will drop into the 20s. We'll see partly sunny skies, highs near 40 on Thursday. A meteorologist, Brooke Foster, for KECI 13.